thank you for joining us this Tuesday evening. My name is Kater Bland. I'm the editorial director of IndieWire, and I am so pleased to bring, I gotta get the cards because I gotta get all the credits. He is the star, series creator, co-showrunner, and executive producer of Bait, Riz Ahmed. We heard you guys laughing. Did you enjoy it?
Hi everyone. Hi. This is a really interesting room, isn't it?
Yes, it's very
it's
narrow.
like long and narrow. You don't normally see that.
Yeah, it could keep going. You don't even know how
What's so
far.
amazing about it is nobody's got the side seats. Everyone's basically got a center seat. Everyone's a winner.
How many times have you been mistaken for Dev Patel? And vice versa.
How many times have I not been mistaken? Real question. No, so many times. I mean, it just happened. The other day in the cab. Actually, I got in a cab, in London black cab, and this guy goes like, "Bro, is that you?" Yeah. And I was like, "I don't know what you mean." And he's like, "Yeah, it's you, bro. Yeah, it amazed me. I love the film, man. I'm watching it from time. It's amazing, bro. Yes, thank you." He goes, "Bro, it means a lot to me." I go, "Bro, that means a lot to me." He goes, "Yeah, man, Lion, Slumdog, Monkey Man, Bangers." You know? And at that point, you got a decision to make. You know? So I just go, "Thank you." Thank you, bro. I try. There's a lot of flowers to Dev that I owe him in the mail. Yeah. But you know, interestingly, the thing about it is like Dev Patel grew up like 10 minutes from me, 10 minutes from him, Jay Sean, 10 minutes from me also Jay Paul. You know, that little corner of Northwest London, Wembley, this place, you know, it's a special place, and London is a special place, and I feel like in many ways, London is a kind of, and the UK, I'd say more broadly, you know, is a kind of, it has been a kind of creative engine for the South Asian diaspora globally for many years. You see Toronto and places like that coming up, and in the last 10, 15 years, you've seen that, you know, with an explosion of South Asian talent shows, like Never Have I Ever, what Aziz is doing Kumail over here as well. But it's been, I almost liken it, it's perhaps a clumsy analogy, as like the Harlem of the South Asian brown diaspora. You know, it is as this cultural engine, this kind of, and I just really wanted to kind of create a love letter to it amongst many other things.
Well, I was going to bring this up later, but you know, you're talking about the UK. You are hosting one of the first episodes of SNL UK within the next month or so. Do you guys know that the UK is getting its own Saturday Night Live and Riz is going to be hosting?
Tell the truth, you know, pissed about that. Like, SNL is our thing. How do you think we feel about the English language? No, honestly, I think it's a fair trade. You took The Office.
That is true.
We'll take SNL. We call it quits.
Obviously, the show is based on experiences in your life, funny ones, not so funny ones. When you are thinking about putting this into a series, how are you synthesizing the things that this really happened to me? I know people are going to ask me, like, oh, did this happen to me? And putting in things that are maybe a little more fun and a little more funny, and taking that balance, because you know people are going to ask you, oh, did this happen to you? When did that happen to you?
Yeah, I wasn't really worried about that. I didn't care about that. If people ask me or don't know, ask me. And, I'm British, so I'm very good at passive aggressively being silent. You know, I mean, it wasn't really an issue. Like, no, I think you always have to start from a place of truth and honesty. And then the story starts telling you what it is. Very quickly you realize, okay, this thing may have happened to me, but this is not what the story is about. And then very quickly, you know, with anything, whether you're playing a role, whether you're writing a song, whether you're making a TV series, you start from a place of truth, you write what you know, but then you're actually in service to the story and what it wants to be. And then I guess I should say, and this is important to say, is that yes, there's a lot of being sharp. I really feel, and I hope you feel this way, there's actually a lot of Shah in all of us. And what I mean by that is, Shah is a character who feels as though he's not enough. And when you feel you're not enough, you do too much. You know? So as much as it's drawn from my experience, it's not so much my experience as an actor that I hope is what people's entry point is. It's the experience of feeling like sometimes life feels like it's one big endless audition. You know, we're constantly having to like chase the approval and validation of strangers, and project a performance and wear a mask of like our the public self, how we want to be seen, which is so opposed to the hot mess of who we are, you know. So that distance between the public and private self is kind of where the show takes place. And someone once told me that distance is the amount of shame that you carry. You know? Yeah, I really have to credit my incredible co-showrunner, who's a mentor to me throughout this process, Ben Carlin, who's here as well. Please so much for that. He kind of like, you know, we spent some time talking, and what we had this kind of like mass of experiences and anecdotes that I've been scribbling down for 10 years, and we had this, as I said, all this stuff that's about the juxtaposition of the public and the private self, the shame, the not feeling enough, always auditioning. We had those thematic kind of through lines, and we had all these experiences, but we needed to find that kind of dramatic frame. And it was in conversations with Ben that we were talking about this, and I mentioned that, and it was like, yeah, it was interesting, what, you know, my name had been mentioned in relation to this, and it made me think about, well, who do I want to be, and da-da-da. And he was like, that's it. Of course that's it. And I was like, no, great, but like, we're not really allowed to do that, right? And he was like, let's worry about that later. I was like, oh, great, I love that attitude of that, let's not face our problems. So, and so we just went deep down this thing, like, great, this is a show, and everyone started saying, like, you know, Barbara Broccoli's never gonna let me do that, right? Like, ever in a million years, you idiot. And so I was like, okay, let me try. And so I emailed her, sat down with her at a diner, and showed her the scripts, and she got it, man. And she said, yeah. And what I said to her is like, the show's not really about Bond, right? It's about, Bond serves as a kind of symbol, an aspirational symbol, you know, the mask, the archetype behind which we like to hide our messy vulnerability. But it's really about the latter, you know, it's about that. And she totally understood it, and she said, yeah, well, we've got to do the thing, I love this. And so that was like, so amazing, and you know, again and again along the way, we've been blessed by people who allowed us to kind of run with this, you know, because in many ways what we're trying to do is ambitious, not just the Bond of it, but like, how do you pitch this show? It's like, it's a comedy, but you'll see there's like romance elements, there's a spy thriller element, there's a family drama, trying to be hard-hitting. We wanted to create that sense of like, we wanted it to be a bit of a genre killer as a show. We wanted people to have that tonal whiplash, you know, that life feels like. And we're really blessed by like, people championing us at Amazon, our producing partner Addy Moore, and Soph, and we just had a whole team, took a whole village to try and like, get this made, because it's taking a lot of big swings.
Well, it is funny that it's an Amazon show, and Amazon now has the rights to James Bond.
I'm glad you find it funny, they do not.
They're like, oh no.
They're like, who greenlit this show? Who greenlit this show? Who thought this was a good idea? We're here now, so.
Doing the show, I don't know if you guys can tell because you've only seen 3 episodes. It's only set over a few days. I think it's like 4 days.
Oh yeah, the whole thing's over 3-4 days.
And obviously, it's shorter episodes that we associate with a sitcom. What was the thinking behind the setting it over only a short period of time, shorter episodes, ostensibly a comedy, having those kind of parameters around this?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel that comedy is a space where you can be more honest, more raw, say the unsayable, be more ugly, vulnerable, messy, and that's true to life in many ways. You know, comedy in many ways is also my first love. I miss doing projects like Four Lions, which I was like to do back in the day, and there's like. That's a good representation of who see Four Lions in America. There's one guy kicking in the corner of the and he made it clear in their throat. But it's like classic British kind of comedy. And I'm just a big fan of that. Comedy is almost my first love, really. I guess like, and so yeah, it just was kind of like following my passions, but what was equally important as comedy was having this, as I said, this kind of idea of like not adhering to genre expectations. and mixing things up in that way. And actually something that really speaks to that is the title of the show, Bait. So the word bait has many different meanings, right? And they all kind of correspond to different layers of the show. So bait is British slang, which means being blatant and not subtle, you know, which is the worst thing as a Brit. It is like talking loudly. And so it means that, but it also online it means trolling someone, right? It's also in the thriller genre, which corresponds to the show. It means like something to use as part of a trap to ensnare someone. In Urdu, which is what's spoken in the show, why I grew up speaking Urdu, bayat means your loyalty or your allegiance, which is something the character is kind of caught between competing allegiances, his ambitions, family, etc. And in Arabic and Hebrew, bayat means home. And so we just kind of looked at it and like, wow, this show is all those things. It's about hope, it's about, you know, spy threat, it's about allegiance, it's about being bait as fuck and just seeking attention all the time. And so it was really challenging. And again, I'm just really blessed to have a collaborator like Ben Carlin and to have such an incredible, talented writer's room who's so lucky people saw the vision and wanted to get involved in this. To try and like wrangle all of those things, but the important thing for me was not to create tonal coherence, it was to create really intentional tonal whiplash. You know, it's sort of Peter Brooks says about Shakespeare, what makes him a great writer is that he went from the meaning of life to dick jokes within like 3 seconds of each other the whole time. And again, the kind of messy spill of humanity and to try and just like embrace that and throw it all in with collage, you know, that sense of play.
I mean, that's what life is like. You don't have just a day where you're laughing all day or things are dramatic all day. It's everything, and the show really captures that. Does your family have a Google alert set for your name?
No, they don't, unfortunately, and I wish they would. Hopefully after the show they'll reconsider. Yeah, tragic.
The relationship that Shaw has with his cousin is, to me, it's like it's the heart of the series because, you know, their relationship is very special, but he also won't let him get away with things. He won't let him be bait. When did you hit upon the idea that this relationship is going to be so central to what we see?
You know, I think that emerged, but I had to kind of sense that male friendship, that cousinship, that space where you can't say the thing you feel, and then what can be lost in translation, what's it's just a very fertile place, like, for dramatic tension, isn't it? And I think just something that I think the show is really about is about home, about how far we leave home to try and please the people at home. And you're saying you're doing this to take care of people, you haven't seen them. You know, he said sometimes being here is enough. You know, Hassan Tarek, who's an amazing director who directed these first 3 episodes you saw, he said, you know, I realized why I want to make stories about home and love letters to home. I said, why? He goes, writing love letters is a lot easier than being there. You know what I'm saying? There is something like that thing, you know, for many of us, which I think is a very universal feeling, you know, leaving home, coming back, that push and pull. And I think Zulfi kind of represents that. I think we all have those people in our life, like, well, I stayed and you left. Particularly in a city like New York, I think a lot of people might experience that. And what is that? It's just so rich, and it just feels very kind of true to life.
Well, it's also like he just won't let him get away with stuff, and I think that one of Shaw's problems is that he's letting himself get away with things that are insane and crazy, and he needs someone to be like, no, what are you doing? Like, go talk to your one fan. And I was like, yeah, I see that. I can see that relationship with a lot of people. A lot of people need that relationship.
It's interesting. So, like, I mean, as a creator, as a writer, you always have to kind of like look at the characters with empathy. If Shaw had gone up to that one fan and had a photo of himself next to, like, decolonize the music, all this kind of stuff, would that help him as a Muslim person of color who's already in the fringes, possibly of the modern conversation, if that is his goal? Bigger conversation, should that be his goal? Who knows? That's up to you. But it's something really interesting, isn't it, about like strategy.
Yeah.
Like, is strategy inherently cynical? right? Like in any conflict, in any kind of like movement, we have to be strategic. And yet there is something so deeply cynical about it. And living honestly is obviously the way we want to live, but like how the fuck do you earn a living by living honestly? You know, so I don't know, I just wanted to kind of unpack a lot of this and play with it. The same way you see with Himish's character. It's like, yeah man, we're all in it together, bro. You know, that kind of energy, and what the representation economy ends up actually generating, which is like competition around tokenism, you know.
And just like pitting these guys against each other who should ideally be friends and be sharing their experience and not, you know, literally stealing their words and going up and giving a speech and just like really just leaving him out to dry.
Yeah. Himish is incredible. He's such an amazing actor. And yeah, we did a panel at South by Southwest recently, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, he's just so gifted. The whole cast really is like a bit of a dream. You know, Gaz Khan is like a really well-known prominent comedic performer in the UK, and I met Gaz like 20 years ago when I was an aspiring spoken word artist and he was an aspiring drug dealer. And this happened in his hometown of Coventry. No one was coming in to watch my spoken word gigs, so I went out and about giving out flyers, headed down a dark alleyway, saw a bunch of guys, gave them a flyer. They looked at me like, we're in the middle of a transaction that does not involve you. Shall we lead him up? No, let's have mercy on him. Go inside. He goes, he saw me do this spoken word. He said, that changed my thinking. What people like us could do in spaces like that. And maybe I'll start doing my stand-up comedy more. And he told that story 20 years later when we were on set. And he goes, you don't remember the first time we met, do you? And I was like, wow, man. So we have this kind of mystical kind of brotherhood thing going. And Shiva Chadha is one of India's best actresses. I think she's one of the world's greatest actresses, actually. Yeah. And then Sajid Hassan. Sajid Hassan was going to be he plays my father, Pravesh, was going to be a disapproving religious father. I cast him and we need to make him a horn dog. And Asya Shah is a rising star. So it was just really amazing. We've got Ruche Opia, some of you may have seen I May Destroy You, plays my agent Felicia. We've got Sean, who's in Fleabag, of course, in there. We've got Ray Spall, who's like one of most respected actors of his generation. So we were really blessed and amazing. And of course, Sir Patrick Stewart, guys. That wasn't someone doing an impression of Patrick Stewart.
That was one of my next questions.
Hands up if you thought that was someone doing an impression of Patrick Stewart. Why do you think that? I know why, because you think the same thing as me. Why would Patrick Stewart do this? Bro, I still don't know. I think there was a mix-up with the emails or something. His agent said you should do it. Honestly, one of the most incredible moments of this whole process was Patrick Stewart kind of on the way that goes, I have to tell you, I've not quite read anything like this. I thought I must play this wrong racist severed pig's head. Like, hey, bro, please don't question it. That's a spoiler, so obviously we're not telling people that he plays, my racist curriculum voice at this moment, but that was just such a, that was just like our dream scenario, you know.
That sort of feels like going back to, let's just say it's James Bond, like let's just do it. Let's just go big. Let's just try.
Take the swing, like just take the big swing. Just put your mess in most, but so much personal stuff is in there. Episode 1, the Panic Attack, Kentish Town Forum. At the Panic Attack, Kentish Town Forum, supporting Wu-Tang Clan. We're going to do a booed off stage by 5,000 people. Let's put that on there. The park where the kid gets jumped, first park I got jumped. First place I held against the girl's hand. The Dev Patel thing, we already know about that. So like, there's so much in it. It's just like, just take the swing, say the thing, and like, and if we fail, we fail. But like, let's try and do something that has all these flavors in there, and just do our best.
Last question. They've seen 3 episodes. What would you like them to be paying attention to and looking for in the rest of the episodes as they, of course, finish the first season of the show?
I have to say, the second half gets much crazier. Yeah. Honestly, the second half of this show, I love the ominous train rumble on it. All sound design. The next episodes. and I'm so proud of them. And you know, we continue switching genres, you know, and we continue that, and I'm so excited for you to see it. Honestly, this show could mean more to me, and it was such a joy and such a blessing being able to make it. And honestly, like I was saying to the guys in the team yesterday, it's like there's no more fulfilling feeling than like making something from like the depths of your heart and it connecting with other people's. And I really hope to do it again. And if you guys enjoy it and you shout about it, then you know maybe we'll have another chance to do it again. So thank you.
Vibes from you guys. Riz, thank you so much for being here and for sharing 3 episodes of Babe, just letting people get excited for the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thanks everyone.
One, two, three, perfect. Thank you, and one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.